Let me ask you something. What makes a revolution dangerous? Is it the violence, the chaos, the destruction? Or is it something else? Something far more threatening? Because the most dangerous revolution in history wasn't dangerous because of what it destroyed, but because of what it proved. That people who were told they were powerless could overthrow entire empires and win. France, Spain, Britain, all defeated. And yet, this story was minimized, reduced, almost erased. Not because it wasn't important, but because it was too dangerous. Now, if you've never heard this story like this before, go ahead and hit subscribe real quick, because on this channel, we break down the stories they didn't teach. And this one changes everything. Now think about what you did learn in school. Powdered wigs, tea getting thrown into the ocean, taxes and speeches. Cool. But somehow, the most dangerous revolution in history got reduced to a paragraph, if that. Like, oh yeah, Haiti did something. Next chapter. Interesting. Almost like that story makes people uncomfortable. Quick question. Did you actually learn about Haiti in school? Or was it even mentioned? Drop that in the comments, because I already know how this is about to go. Before we talk about the revolution, we have to talk about the people. The island we now call Haiti was originally home to the Taino, a thriving civilization with its own culture, its own way of life. But after European colonization, that world was devastated. And in its place, millions of Africans were brought across the Atlantic. Different languages, different traditions, different identities, forced into the same system. But they didn't arrive empty. They brought knowledge, they brought strategy, they brought culture, and they brought memory. Memory of who they were before all of this. So when the revolution began, this wasn't random. This was people reclaiming something that had been taken. Before Haiti, this place was called Saint-Domingue, France's richest colony. Sugar, coffee, wealth flowing into Europe. If Europe had a sweet tooth, this place was feeding it. But here's what that wealth was built on: brutal, forced labor. So yeah, richest colony in the world. For who? Before the revolution fully ignited, there was a moment, a gathering, a decision. Deep in the forest, Bois Caïman. They came together, not as individuals, but as one. Dutty Boukman, Cecile Fatiman. They didn't just plan a rebellion, they made a commitment. They sang, they danced, they called on something greater than themselves. Rooted in traditions brought from Africa, what we now recognize as Haitian voodoo, this wasn't just ritual. This was unity. This was identity. This was power. An oath was taken, not just to fight, but to be free. And shortly after, everything changed. And maybe this is why this part gets minimized, because it shows something deeper. That power doesn't always come from systems or institutions. Sometimes it comes from people. People coming together, people remembering who they are. Because this didn't happen by accident. This wasn't just courage. This was strategy. They knew the land, the mountains, the forests. They moved fast, struck, and disappeared. They attacked at night, cut supply lines, disrupted everything. And the environment worked against the invaders. Heat, disease, exhaustion. And the fighters, relentless. Fires burned, plantations destroyed, control dismantled. And over time, the most powerful armies in the world were worn down, exhausted, outmaneuvered, defeated. 1804, Haiti becomes independent, the first Black republic, the first successful slave revolt nation. They didn't just fight for freedom, they secured it. But winning the war didn't mean Haiti was left in peace. France may have lost in the battlefield, but it didn't just walk away. For years, Haiti was isolated, punished, treated like a threat. And then in 1825, France came back with a different weapon. Not soldiers, debt. France agreed to recognize Haiti's independence, but only if Haiti paid a massive indemnity, money for the people they had enslaved. Let that sink in. After defeating one of the most powerful empires on earth, Haiti was forced to pay that empire for the crime of freeing itself. That makes sense. And that debt lasted for generations. So even after winning, the punishment continued. No chains, no whip, just financial suffocation. And that part matters, because it helps explain why Haiti's story wasn't just ignored, it was contained. At the same time, much of Latin America was still under Spanish rule. Venezuela, Colombia, Ecuador, Peru, all fighting for independence. And at the center of that fight was a man named Simón Bolívar, a revolutionary leader, a military strategist, trying to free entire nations from Spain. But here's the reality. He was losing, defeated, exiled, running out of options. At one point, he had to flee. And when he did, he came to place, Haiti. Haiti gave him refuge, weapons, supplies, strategy, and support. But there was one condition: free the enslaved in the lands you liberate. So let me get this straight. Haiti, a nation that had just fought for its own survival, turned around and helped fuel the liberation of entire regions. Venezuela, Colombia, Ecuador, Peru, Bolivia. And somehow, that didn't make the syllabus. Yeah, okay. So, Haiti wins, then helps others win, and nobody talks about it? Drop your thoughts below, because this changes everything. So when people ask, why didn't we learn this? Maybe the real question is, why would they want you to? This isn't just history. This is power. They didn't erase this because it was small. They erased it because it was too dangerous. If this opened your eyes, hit like, subscribe, because we're just getting started. There's a lot more they didn't teach.